G'day, great to be back for another video blog. I'd just like to say it's been a privilege and an honour to have represented Tukituki and Hawke's Bay in Parliament for the last 6 years, particularly the last 3 years in government, as Chris Tremaine and I managed to get round the table, push Hawke's Bay's issues forward, and actually had some pretty good wins for the Bay, such as our airport extension, such as winning $2.5 million for our national cycleways, such as balancing the air quality standards for Hawke's Bay, taking account of Hawke's Bay's unique position. So that has been a real privilege, and if I do have the privilege to be re-elected, I'm looking forward to furthering Hawke's Bay issues. I've been as busy as ever on the ground in Hawke's Bay. Last week, for example, had great fun with Chris Tremaine at the Hawke's Bay Chamber of Commerce Business Awards. Much to the shock and surprise and delight, I must say, of many people, Chris and I dressed and joined the waitering staff, helped serve hors d'oeuvres, drinks, and we served the mains later on. We served about 450 odd plates to people up in the Assembly Hall and the Opera House. But the look on people's faces as they realised who was actually serving them was priceless. And of course the joke we always gave to everyone was, well, we're here to serve, we're here serving the Bay, and endless jokes in and around that, maybe 450 times. They got a bit tiresome, but it was all good fun. But that's how Chris and I work within our community, feet on the ground, back in the Bay every single day. Yesterday I was at the Halmawana School Fair. That's always good fun, annual event, raises huge money, and it's actually on everyone's calendar. Thousands upon thousands of people will go to that fair. Naya was helped with a dart through the car windows competition. I know it sounds easy, it's actually very difficult, but we managed to get a whole lot of people in there to help raise money for the school, and then later on I helped at the auction, and we managed to raise a good few thousand there from people who are generally local people, donating items purchased again by local people, and often with kids at the school. Really neat community spirit, and it was a fantastic National Blue Party Sky Day again in Hawke's Bay. On Saturday night, I was at the Hastings Fire Brigade 125th anniversary celebration and dinner. That was good fun. And I made the point that on that day, a few hundred years ago, someone tried to blow up and set fire to Parliament, Guy Fawkes, of course. So I thought I was in pretty good company in case something was to happen, because I was surrounded by men in blue, firemen who do the hard yards and actually stand between us and danger within our community. So again, I thank them for all that they do. There are a few visitors coming to Hawke's Bay over the next couple of weeks. I understand some various political leaders are coming this week. So I'd be interested to see if members of the previous government apologise for their sacking of the Hawke's Bay District Health Board, the democratically elected health board, a few years ago. We've managed to restore that board, and funnily enough, they were all almost unanimously re-elected at the last local body elections. We're also interested to find out a bit more about some of the GST proposals out there. Hawke's Bay's the food bowl for New Zealand, an export province. So we grow a lot of food, we grow a lot of crops, and most of them are processed through, be it McCain's or Heinz Woolies or some of our smaller plants. So under current proposals, as everything else, they attract GST, that's fine, except there are some proposals out there which would actually make imports of fresh vegetables from Australia GST free, so therefore biased against Hawke's Bay jobs. So I'm looking forward to learning a bit more about that and why someone would on earth bias the tax system against Hawke's Bay jobs and processing. I can't work that one out. And finally, there's a big project under consideration in Hawke's Bay, an up to $200 million water irrigation and storage project. But the only way that can work is under a mixed ownership model, such as we have for Air New Zealand. It's just a local model, but it would involve the Hawke's Bay Regional Council, probably central government, probably iwi, maybe even local council, and private investors, and maybe some large funds out there. But the only way that could get off the ground would be the mixed ownership model. So I'm looking forward to making sure, or seeing, if all political parties and leaders support that project, which will help Hawke's Bay realise its awesome potential.